Hi, today we're going to interrupt your regular Albany Mead programming to talk a little bit about the library's May 15th budget vote with our Executive Director, Scott Jerzombek. I'm Stephanie Simon, the library's Public Information Officer, and we're just going to take a couple of minutes to kind of talk you through what the proposed 2019 budget is, what it means for you as a taxpayer and as a library user. So, Scott, talk to us a little bit about the library's proposed 2019 budget.
Stephanie, the library's budget primarily comes from the City of Albany taxpayers. We appreciate that their taxes enable the library to have 7 neighborhood branches, providing books and movies and other materials, hosting programs and activities, providing computers and Wi-Fi, and hosting meetings and studying workrooms. And that's just a portion of the services, programs, and material we provide. Every year, the library board must consider the community's need when developing a budget. For 2019, the board decided to put a bit more money in the budget so we can expand some services and programs.
So how much is the budget increasing?
The tax levy is going up about 2% over this year. The proposed total operating tax levy for 2019 is about $7.1 million. This is the amount on which people will vote on May 15th.
So why did the board decide to ask for the 2% increase?
Well, we've asked for an increase every year for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's typically a small increase, basically a cost of living increase. But almost every presentation we did, feedback while we were doing our strategic plan, showed that the voters wanted more. And one of those things that they wanted was more hours, which is not cheap, and also more programs. We're looking at what libraries are doing across the country, and and even in our region, they're doing these major programs, they're doing author visits. You know, the most recent author visit that we looked into, I think, was about $7,000 to $8,000 just to have this person come and speak at the library. And while I'm not sure if we're going to do programs that are that expensive, we at least need to put more money into our programming budget to expand something that we're getting more and more attendance at.
Great. So you've got some extra funds put into the 2019 budget. What will that allow the library to do for its patrons?
Well, more hours. We'll do additional morning hours at our Pine Hills and our Howell branch, and also go back to 4 evenings a week at our Washington Avenue branch. 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, the library decided to change the hours and closed us on Thursday evenings at that branch. You know, that's our central library, and we see a lot of traffic there. It's a library that people all across the region use, and we know additional Thursday hours there would be really, really popular. What the budget also allows us to do is add more money into our ebook collection. That's something that's growing. Our movie, if you look at our circulation, when it comes to movies, it's going down. However, books circulation has been pretty steady, and if you count ebooks, our circulation of books have gone up, and we realize that's an expensive service, but there's high demand for it. We also are making sure that the library has funds to continue service to the North Albany neighborhood. We looked at usage, and we were looking at our own finances and wondering maybe it was time for that branch to close. However, after doing some community meetings and having a few committees put together, the neighborhood has been loud and clear that the library is really one of the last services they have there. So when we looked at this budget, the board is not really near a decision yet, but they wanted to make sure and have a strong message that no matter what, we're going to be serving that neighborhood.
How about programming or meeting rooms or anything like that? Are there any other expansions planned with the 2019 budget?
Well, the additional evening hours makes it easier for us to have rooms open for the public, while we're open. So that'll increase meeting rooms, which is, again, a high demand. The biggest complaint I hear outside of parking is can't reserve a room with the library. So we would expand that and just put more money into the programming budget.
Great. How much, if it's approved, how much would the 2019 budget cost the average homeowner?
The average assessed home in Albany is around $150,000. You have to remember with assessment, that's what the city is assessing your home to be. If you look at a site like Zillow, or you talk to a real estate agent, their assessment's much higher. So I know I've heard people say it's about 170, but that's 170 on the market. However, when you get taxed, the average is $150. And if you have a home around $150,000, it'll be an extra $4.89 a year for library taxes. We also have on our website a list of assessed property value and what the tax impact will be. And, it goes up 80 or 90 cents, every time you add $10,000 or $15,000 to it. So that's, we use 150,000 to kind of be the benchmark, but we provide information so that you can get a better idea of what you'll be paying additionally in taxes.
Now, are there any trustees up for vote this year?
No, for the first time since I've come back to APL, there are no new trustees. All of the trustees will remain. If anyone is interested in becoming a library trustee, please reach out. We can send you a packet. It's a great way. If you're interested in dipping your toes in politics, it's a great way. Our board is great. It's governed really well. It's a good way to learn how, public boards work.
When is the library's budget vote?
Budget vote is May 15th. The polls open at 7 a.m. and are closed at 9 p.m. Our vote is held in conjunction with the City School District of Albany. They're actually a community partner, and one thing that they do for us that we appreciate is they run our votes and also collect our money. So our portion of your tax bill is on the school tax bill, and it's separated out so you can see how much you pay. However, we always like to clarify we are not a part of the school district. We have our own separate board that governs us.
So is there any place where people can get more information about the budget?
Sure. Our website, albanypubliclibrary.org, has all the information on the budget. It also has packets from all of our board meetings from this year. So you can go back and you can look at the minutes and the notes from those meetings to help you get a better understanding of why the board went in this direction. And I always invite people to check out our YouTube page. All of our board meetings are on our YouTube page. And again, you can see kind of how the burrito was made. You can understand the budget a little bit better because it is messy. That's why I use burritos. It is messy, and it is kind of a complicated and sometimes hard to understand process. And I think by providing that video and providing all those notes, it's us doing our due diligence to make sure that you have a better idea of how open of an organization we are.
Great, sounds good. So I think just to wrap up, we just encourage everybody to go out and vote on Tuesday, May 15th. The polling places are listed on the library's website and on the school district's website. So get informed and go out and make a vote.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks.
Our podcast is produced by Sarah Clark, engineered by Ryan Slowey in the Albany Made Creative Lab. Theme song by Ryan Devine. We'll be back soon with another episode of the Albany Made podcast. Thanks again for listening.